This is a response to the outline regarding the open relationships. Kevin, it seems like you might have had. Okay, let me start over. All right. This is not an attack. This is just me addressing a bit of frustration. And I say frustration because you said that, the people the skit you did, you got the person got bored and they say they want to bring somebody else into the equation, and then you did a follow-up phone call. Oh, that was great, thanks for coming, we really needed that. But I don't think that's true for everybody. It's not true for me and my partner. We've been together for 5 years, and we didn't start doing things with third parties or what have you, just because we were bored with each other. We have a great time together by ourselves. However, we tend to be a bit more rational. Not saying that you're irrational, but rational in the sense that if you say, okay, first of all, who made the rule that two people can only have sex with each other? Now, if you're a Christian and you're trying to, or a Muslim or what have you, and you're trying to build your relationship off of Christian or religious values, and you don't believe in adultery or something like that because you define your relationship as some type of union or marriage or covenant, whatever you decide to call it, okay, then fine. But in a secular world, in a secular relationship, you define your own terms and conditions. There is no rubric as to how relationships will go, and if it doesn't go according to this set rubric, then that relationship is somehow on the fringes. The reason why people, I think, are doing it is because people realize the sky didn't fall. They didn't stop loving each other. And in my opinion, if you had to have a threesome in order to continue to be with your partner or girlfriend or boyfriend, then there are bigger issues in your relationship than sex. You lost attraction to them or whatever the case may be at some point in the past. I'm very attracted to my fiance. Every time I look at him, I get excited. And there's not a day go by that I don't think of and still, like the fact that we're together, and I'm glad I have him. But if we never had, matter of fact, we just had this conversation the other day. I just turned 27 in February. And, we had, not entertained that idea for a while, not because we didn't want to, just because it's too much work. You got to meet people, and then you don't want to necessarily approach people in public, so you use these little apps, and then you got to, meet them, and then you got to greet them, and then you got to worry about who else they was with, and it's just too much work. Now, me personally, I don't have time for all the work and the vetting and the making sure somebody is, in it for the right reason. They're just in it for fun and not in it trying to get your, boyfriend on the side and all this other jazz. I'm just kind of over that whole part of it. But if it's somebody that, I've maybe dealt with before, and we're both cool with that person, and we just decided to do something like that for fun, then I don't see the problem. No one is laying next to each other in your scenario saying, oh, I'm just tired of the same ass from day to day. No, it's great. My ass is good, his is good, everybody's good. We don't have no problems. It was not one person's idea. It was a conversation we just brought up. I wonder why people have a big deal with looking at somebody else, because then you start saying, okay, I don't want you messing with nobody else. Then you get all the way down to the, oh, why are you looking at this person? Am I not cute enough? And then, oh my God. But what's the difference? We had a conversation, and the point we took it from is, what is the difference between thinking about somebody being attractive in your head and talking to your best friend about how attracted you are to somebody because they're cute? That don't mean you want to be with them. That don't mean you want to fall in love with them. It just means this person is attractive, and maybe the thought might cross your mind, I wonder what they're like in bed. Blah, blah, blah. But if you have that friendship and that close bond with your spouse, that's a conversation y'all should be able to have. I saw so-and-so today in the store, or y'all might be in the mall together. That's what we do. And we see somebody that's hot, like, oh, he's sexy, or she's cute, or whatever. And then we like, oh yeah, they are, blah, blah, blah. And if we both had the same idea as to, I wonder what that's a conversation we can have, and then that's a step we can take if we decide to do so. But don't get it twisted. Everybody that decides to involve a third person is not necessarily bored with what they have. It's just you create your own boundaries, you make your own rules, and I think that depending on who you meet and the boundary you decide to set, then you do that. But I don't. I feel kind of offended to say that people who are monogamous are setting a good example. An example according to who? Who? I'm trying to figure out who made the rule. If it's I'm confused. Like, what do you mean a good example? I don't understand what you mean by that. And I'm slightly offended because, and like I said, it's not something that we do all the time, or even something that we look forward to doing in the future. It's just one of those things that if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It's not a big deal either way. But we're not so traditional minded, because you got to think about, where did all these ideas come from? Who told you that you can't? Even if you want to take it from a religious standpoint, when Sarah's ass couldn't get pregnant, she told Abraham, "Go and knock up Hagar, because that's my slave. I can't have a baby. Look, I'm 99 years old. It ain't going to happen. All I'm shooting out is dust. So you go ahead into Hagar. She'll have a baby for you." They ain't think, Abraham didn't say, "Oh, Sarah, you my wife. I can't do that. That's adultery." That wasn't even on the radar. Kings had concubines. Even the one, was it King Ahab? I believe it was Ahab. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself later. But he had over 400 wives. Solomon had over 400 concubines, and wasn't nobody complaining. My point is that our idea of monogamy is something that we impose on ourselves at some point in antiquity, but that was not always the case. Even in ancient Roman societies, even if you watch the little show Spartacus, they try to give you a realistic depiction of how culture used to be. There was certain scenes wherein Batiatus and his wife Lucretia were getting bathed by their slaves, and one slave was fluffing Batiatus, and the other slave was fingering Lucretia, and they were looking at each other do it, and they was chilling, like, oh, okay. And then when they both got aroused where they needed to be, then they had sex with each other. But sexuality we've made it a dirty thing. Yes, you should be safe, you should be protected, but it's not dirty. It's just a pleasurable experience, and when you get with who you get with, y'all decide how y'all want to go about having that experience. If you set a rule that it has to only be between you and with each other, and y'all agree to that, fine. But if another couple says we don't see the big deal, that doesn't mean that they are tired of each other or somehow are not attracted to each other the same anymore. I don't agree with that. So this is just my opinion of dissent.